welcome to Dynamite Alot. I like doing that. I know that some, I'm sure, don't like it, and you can voice your opinion, and I will take into account, and I'll still do it because it's fun. Anyway, welcome to Dynamite Alot. Let me give you a basic perspective on this show. There was a lot of content leading into Full Gear. You only got 10 days left, 3 more shows left before Full Gear happens. So they're trying to make sure to get everything in they believe is necessary for the pay-per-view on Saturday. And I have forgotten. There's so many things that I have forgotten about because I was working on some of my animation and I got stuck. I'm actually stuck right now. You know how they say you got writer's block? That's how I feel like that when I do the animation that I do. And I got it right now, so I'm kind of stuck and it's made me frustrated, so I forgot about Full Gear. Good that they talked about it here because I forgot. But was this a good show? I will say for many people to like it, but I gotta say this in my humble perspective. Humble perspective. What I kind of wish they've done is pretty much shifted the TBS title tournament over to Rampage. If they have to have a tournament on Dynamite, let it be how can I say this not sounding like I'm being sexist and saying, oh, the women don't need to be on the main show. Who gives a damn? No. The TBS title tournament can be on Rampage. They need something there. The last match can be on Rampage, not on Dynamite. I know you want to make sure it's done well, but I think they could have used the extra time that came from that match from Andrade versus Hager, and it should have been shifted over there. That's how I feel about it. Now, I want to say this early. The Kansas City crowd was loud and hot. I did enjoy it. And the opening of the show was, well, I'll talk about that with CM Punk. And I have to say that I'll explain something about what's going to happen when I talk about CM Punk and a Gump report that I'm thinking of doing. Well, the opening, Kenny versus Alan Angel, number 5 of the Dark Order. I kind of forgot him because I forgot what his name was. I forgot Angel's name was number 5. I hadn't really thought about him in so long with his real name. I forgot who he was. He had not faced Kenny in 18 months. The last time he faced him, he beat him. And that set Kenny on the road going downhill. Well, I think he beat him or almost beat him. I think he almost beat him or he did beat him. I think he did beat him. And that is when the downhill trend and then his uphill trend happened. It was a good match. And I got to say this. Afterward, Kenny's saying, thank you so much. I hate you for what you did, but thank you so much because for you making me have that loss, gave me the rise I have. So I give you something and now I take it away. And he wants to beat the crap out of him. But he is stopped by Adam Hangman Page. Everyone was calling for Cowboy Shield. Say it again. Cowboy Shield. They were screaming for that mess, so they got what they wanted. Cowboy Shield comes out, stops a Kenny Omega, along with a couple of people. I gotta say this. That seeing, and it's in my face, seeing the Hangman Page with that title in his hand, kneeling down, well, squatting down actually, was a good look for him. Not that he's squatting, but that he's holding that title. This is the time he's ready for it. Let's just hope they'll actually give it to him at Full Gear. With so many people that has come into the company right now, and so much more rumor that will possibly at Full Gear, it's hard to say that they will let him finally get that damn strap. That's just me. You guys tell me below. Now, the CM Punk segment. I gotta say this now. I'm not gonna elaborate on how I feel about Jon Moxley, but I will say what he said generally. He said Jon Moxley's not there. He wants everyone to think about Jon Moxley and cheer for him. That he needs it because he's gone through something similar to him, but not in the same situation as him. Because as you know right now, if you haven't heard, Jon Moxley has gone into a rehab center for alcoholism. He has gone in. And CM Punk wanted to make it sure that if he sees this, that yes, he knew him. he and him, he wasn't really friends with him much, but he understood, wanted to be the tough guy, wanted to keep going and deal with pain and deal with his injuries. But he's saying there's nothing wrong with getting help. And I am so proud of him for what he's done. And that looked genuine. To me personally, that did look genuine. You can say a lot about Phillip Brooks. That he is full of himself. That he pretty much is always going to be thinking about number one when it comes, well, number two. Because him and his wife April's number one, he's number two. That's how he loves his wife. But you get my point. It felt genuine. He's proud of him for what he's done. Shame Jimmy Uso didn't get anywhere once he did his business and fucked himself up again, getting himself in trouble. I'm still saying it because I'm still angry at Jimmy. That also hurt Naomi. And I love me Naomi. Even though I don't review SmackDown anymore, I still love Naomi. I do still love the Usos. But still, I'm angry at Jimmy for what John. I'm still angry at him. I'm not going to lie. I love him, but I'm angry. But you get my point. And I'm not going to elaborate any more than this. I will be doing a Gump report. And you'll see my thoughts on what will be going on. And how AEW might try to fix some of the stories to compensate. That's it. And pretty much he said, I want Eddie Kingston. There you go. It's not going to be a long feud. I think it should be because he needs a feud. He's going through people just wrestling. Nothing wrong with it, but he eventually needs a real feud. And knowing Eddie Kingston can carry a storyline and is such a damn good talker, just like CM Punk is. I would like to see a real feud, but I don't believe they're going to go there. I wish they would, but I just don't see it. Now, let's move on to the Lucha Libre Open Challenge, where FTR goes against the... Why would... Look, Samurai del Sol and Aerostar. I remember seeing Aerostar on Impact Wrestling more than a few times. I've seen him. Why would he call the tag team Aerostars? That is being full of your freaking self. I'm sorry. No, they're in my face. The match was great, and I'm not surprised FTR had to do whatever they had to steal the match. Fine, I'm not surprised. But Aerostars, that just... Guys, come on. I don't care if Aerostar has been in the business 40 years and he still can jump around like a 20-year-old. That's just too obnoxious for me personally. No, not unless the one who's the younger one and the older one comes out and say, we are the Aerostars. And do the, little bit iconic. I can understand that if they just introduced themselves and did a video package of them. And that would make it feel like something. But like this, it just feels obnoxious to me personally. I'm sorry. Not that I'm taking anything away from Aerostar or Samurai del Sol. I believe that's his name. I just don't like the name. I just don't. But the match was actually quite good. And you still see Wheeler wrapped up his arm. It's still required, I guess. I guess he wants to make sure it's still safe. Or now he's making part of his gimmick, his stick, as an FTR member of the Pinnacle. Well, the Pinnacle and the FTR is a part of it. I take that back. Now, Shida had her moment with Tony Schiavone. It's in my face. And I hate it. I freaking hate it. That they could have gone somewhere with Shida and gave her a real story that she lost to Selena Deep twice. And instead of her winning the damn match and going into the TBS tournament, she could have a more meaningful feud with Selena Deeps. Let Deeps get near the end of the entire tournament. Let Shida have something that she's desperately needed. A real story. Abaddon never worked. This would have worked. Shida is a proud woman. If she kept losing and she only needs one win to be the first woman to have 50 wins under her belt and get her damn plaque, that would have meant something. No, they just give it to her straight out. That's just stupid. And then you have Nia Rose, because now Nia Rose is the one who's going to be facing a Sheeta again. I'd rather have seen Selena Deeps. That's what I'd rather see. A Selena Deeps working with a Nia Rose who really could gain something from Selena Deeps. That woman is a damn expert. And I'm not taking anything away from Sheeta, but she could gain more out of Deeps than Sheeta because she already dealt with Sheeta and it's not enough. And I know people say, well, remember, Sheeta and Nia Rose had a feud. It was not good enough because the women's title scene was not that good at the time. It was weak. And now they got more women there, and it just kind of reminds me of it. That's just me. You guys tell me below. Now, I do have to say this before I get to Andrade versus Hager, that they did give some moments for the women, like a Soho had a chance to talk, like a Statlander. Finally, Statlander had a chance to speak, and she spoke. I loved it. And the Jade, you can see her in the face with no general lipstick on there, unless it's a dark lipstick looking like her lips. She was just plain, unlike her outfit. She wasn't wearing any type of really dark red or black lipstick or whatever. She put her voice into it, saying that if she wins, it's gonna be that bitch's show. That's what she's gonna call the TBS title. I enjoyed that because they did give it to women some video packages that they badly needed. Don't do it often with the women, and I think it's stupid they don't. Now, Hager versus A and a J, which kind of pisses me off a bit. You know why? Because where are the other women that are supposed to be in the tournament? There were a certain amount of women that have been in this tournament. And I wish there had been more new faces than current established ones. They could have been a little less, but I can understand it. For me personally, I understand they have to show the more established people near the end of the tournament. There's only 10 days left. They got to let some established women in there. They got to. It's just going to have to happen. Was this a good match? It was all right. But in the end, I knew there was one or two ways it's going to go. They have been pushing Anna Jay. They have. And I felt like it would have been good if Anna Jay won this. But there was no Conchi down there. And I knew when there was no Tai Conchi, Britt Baker was going to interfere and give Hager that shot. And she did. Nothing wrong with it. What I expected. But I think when it really, in the final analysis, if you want to make this really special, going near the end of Full Gear for the TBS title, it should be Anna Jay there. Something would make it special that one of the people that Brody Lee brought in for the Dark Order had his moment to shine, or her moment to shine, because Silver is going up against Adam Cole. He's going up against him next, I think this Friday. So it would have been good to see Anna Jay near the end. That's how I feel it should have been. But it's just me. You guys tell me below. Now, we got Top Team and the Inner Circle in their segment. Now, we got a lot of talking. A lot of fuck. It was surprising to see that Kansas City was willing to curse and say, fuck. I enjoyed that part. It was good to see, like I said in the beginning of this video, that the participation from Kansas City was really good. That wasn't put in, baked in, and canned heat and pop like the WWE. Okay, let's be honest here. The WWE, you got this much participation from the fans and this much canned heat and pop. Let's be honest. Their shows have not been that good. Even though they got good ratings, the people go there are not that enthusiastic. I think they're more enthusiastic against NXT 2.0 because it's so brand new than they are with Raw and SmackDown. I'm just saying. But how can I relay this feeling about the Top Team having now Dan Lambert doing the damn street fight, and Paige for that matter, and Lambert saying you could choose Paige. She wants a piece of you, but she's gonna let her husband do it. And then Paige says, I don't need to worry about anything. I can take one of you. I can take all of you. And then you got Chris Jericho saying, oh, you want to take us all on? And everybody knew what that was saying. How they were gonna go there. Look, let's make this clear. Is it a big old trope saying, well, when a woman says I can whoop your ass and every guy with you, men are always gonna say simply, oh, you want to whoop? Oh, you want us? You want us? Who you want first in line for the fun? You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's right, okay? It's a trope. It's a cliche. It's what everyone thinks, men and women alike. When I guess the way I'm saying it like this, that seeing that there's no women in the inner circle always has been not something many people talk about, and I've never talked about it. But I think Paige would have been good in this street fight. Yes, it's dangerous for a woman to be in a street fight with the men. It's hard with the men, and it would be hard for her. But if they want equality, they're going to have to get their asses whooped, like what happened in War Games with the old NXT. Let their asses get whooped, let them get the cut open, let them get the bleeding between the arms, the legs, the ladies area, whatever it is, men and women alike. Let it happen. But we're not getting that. So Lambert is one of those guys there. And Lambert stirred the damn pot like no one's business. You can say a lot about Jan Lambert. You can say that he's a dick in real life. You can say he's a great guy in real life. But is he a good heel? Hell yeah, baby. He is a damn good heel. And I'm kind of sad that Impact never really understood how to deal with him. Now, could have been bad contracts. Could have been that there was some type of problem with him working with Impact Wrestling because of when he was working for Top Team. I don't know. But here, he is way more entertaining than he ever was in Impact Wrestling. I'm just saying, it's way better here. Now, we got the MJF segment. Here's another one which surpassed Lambert because not only is he wrestling on the roster, he is a damn good heel. MJF was saying simply, I'm not going to quote him. You know what? You know, me and you and Darby Allin was in the arena. You can see him on my face. He said simply, you know what, me and you, we are the pillars of this company. They can't get nothing done with us, without us. They can't. The other two, I take nothing from them, but me and you, we're not just the future. We are legends. We were legends before we came into the company. We're legends even now more than ever. But when you see this, I don't understand why they cheer you and they boo me. And it used to piss the hell out of me. But I understand now. I'm what they can never be. I'm their boss. I'm the better brother. I'm the guy that's standing with the woman that got the and that I am what they wish I can be, so they hate my ass. And you're one of them. In fact, you're worse than them because you're a damn misfit. You will never get anywhere with them. You will never be anything. You can never become anything. That's the reason why when we have a match, I'll beat you. Because you'll never face me in a real wrestling. You'll always become a spot monkey. You'll never beat me. That's what he said, generally. I think I might have said almost everything he said. With a little bit of flair of my own, baby. Then you get Darby Allin says, Max, oh, don't worry. I'm not going to beat up on you or hurt you like I would. I'm not doing that. When I'm in the ring with you at Full Gear, I am going to do a pure wrestling match with you. But this isn't Full Gear. And right now, to take out my anger and frustrations, I'm going to beat the shit out of you now. So when he heard that, MJF runs, well, not runs, but gingerly walks quickly up the ramp until Sting comes out with a whole bunch of stingers. And then the Pinnacle comes out. And then you get Darby and MJF fighting in the arena, in the crowd. And in the end, he manages to escape. No problem. Good. This is the way it's supposed to be. Book it properly. Make it mean something. Now, I'm sure many people will say, well, they didn't need to have the fight. He could have just escaped. No. On this situation, no. He had to have the fight with Darby Allin. It makes better sense. If he managed to get away, it would make no sense. And Darby Allin, yes, many people would say, well, why did Darby have to get the edge over an MJF? MJF should have beat the crap out of him and make it even more special when the underdog, a Darby Allin, goes up against him. But here's the thing. Darby Allin's not an underdog. Darby Allin and MJF are right here. They're dead even. So there's no point in making a Darby Allin like this. He's not as unestablished as a MJF. He's been TNT champion. He's had very memorable matches with Cody, with so many others, that he's reached a point that he does not need to be an underdog. He's facing somebody who's literally his own size and at his own level. You got them right here. So you wouldn't need to let Darby Allin have to come from behind to win. You got it already done. It's already been done weeks ago. Because he got his ass whooped and hurt. Because of a MJF. There you go. Now, Cody versus Andrade El Idolo. It's in my face. You see them in my face. Why? Look, I'm not going to say that this would have been a great match at Full Gear. But you got two second-generation wrestlers who come from two famous fathers who have been a different, pretty much different, how can I say, not scale, but different aspects of the wrestling business. You got Lucha Libre with Andrade's dad, and you got Dusty Rhodes with Cody's dad. They're both on different scales. One was in the Mexican and several other places, but really didn't get that far in the United States, like in WWE, probably in WCW easily, or ECW, you never know. And then you got the one who's known almost across multiple promotions over multiple years and multiple decades, literally, from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. Even when he retired, he's still recognized, well known, and still well loved. I would have made this family versus family, the Ilios family versus the Rhodes family, and they could have built this sucker going into Full Gear. I think that would have been really interesting, but they didn't go there. They let this be done with Malachi Black. It's understandable they wanted to book Malachi really, really good, but they could have saved this for the next pay-per-view. I would have liked to see this at the next pay-per-view. Not now. Not this match. And it's not about if the match is incredible or not. It was standard. In the end, Cody loses because FTR interferes. And pretty much, what can I say? With FTR saving him. Which makes sense because they were all together in NXT. That you could say in the story that FTR knows Andrade. And not only did he pay them, they're still friends. And maybe he could join the Pinnacle on top of them. Or at least be an affiliate. Where, yes, he's not part of the Pinnacle, but you can trust Andrade because not only does he have the cash, he has the history. That's what I kind of wished. Now, finally, the AEW tournament, the AEW Eliminator Tournament. Because Moxley's not there, they replaced him with Miro. Now, CM Punk said he would have been more than happy to get into it, but he's dealing with Eddie Kingston. So Miro, and he's in my face, he took that spot. And the promo he did, well, not the promo, his video package was well done in saying simply, "What is this? I am given a spot in a tournament. It's my God trying to get me to forgive him. When I hate him for what he's done, for allowing his favorite one to lose, the Redeemer to lose. I, the Redeemer, am angry, hateful, and I do not forgive my God unless I win. And I win not just for myself, but for her." And I wonder, and I will say this in a moment, I wonder about her, but his promo was well done. I liked it. So when you have the match against him versus Orange Cassidy, the crowd was into it. It was done very well. Yes, Orange Cassidy got some defense in because he's been so well booked. You can't just book him like a jobber. He has to get some defense in. So he did. But in the end, he taps out to the game over. That's in my face. And now he moves forward as the one who will be reaching for the AEW title picture as a number one contender against Bryan Danielson. So, what do we got here for that match? We got a good ending. You didn't see them fight one another. And I wonder, and you guys tell me below what you think. Do you believe CJ will be at Full Gear? Now, I'm thinking this because it's a possibility she's now finished her 3 months easily by now. So maybe they're waiting until Full Gear to bring her in to work with her husband, the Redeemer, which makes perfect sense. She's always been a heater. She's always been a good manager. She should be a manager. If you ever want to see her wrestle, it should be rarely. She needs to be a manager. She was better as a manager. She's an okay to sometimes good wrestler. Let her be a manager. So maybe we'll see her at Full Gear and they will blow the house and they'll blow the ceiling off the house. They will. Was this a good show? Yes, it was. It won't be good for absolutely everybody, even though there was a lot of content. But I think if you look past too much of the wrestling, if you're more character driven and story driven, you'll see at least a little bit of story there that's going to make you happy. Now, I hope you enjoyed the Zane's View. Please give me a comment below. I will be doing my Gump report on Jon Moxley. It should come out Friday. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.